Hey there everybody, it's Russ from Pathless Pelled, and today we are going to review not one but two bags from Apidura. We're going to take a look at two 3-liter bags, one from their Backcountry line and the other from their Expedition line. Which one should you buy? Which one is right for you? Find out in this video. Welcome back, Pathless Peddlers, and if you're new to the channel, if you're into things like gravel, bike touring, bike packing, and bike fishing, basically the supple life, then consider subscribing. You have found your people. So a couple weeks ago, Apidura sent over a bunch of bags for us to review for the channel. And the two bags that we have been using the most, that we've put through hundreds of miles of gravel training rides as we lead up to Dirty Kansas, is their 3-liter Backcountry compact frame bag and their 3-liter Expedition compact frame bag. Both function essentially in the same way, but there are some differences that may steer you towards one over the other. So let's look at the Backcountry version first. Again, it's 3-liter. I asked for the 3-liter ones because I tend to ride smaller frames, but I found that this actually has another distinct advantage insofar as that because it is smaller, it will fit in most of your bike. You know, ideally, it would be awesome if you had a custom size frame bag for every single bike, but that would get really expensive. So in that way, a smaller frame bag that doesn't fit perfect can actually be advantageous because you can use it with most of your bikes. And that's what I found was the case with both these bags. I was able to fit them both on our medium-sized cutthroats, the size 46 Early Midnight Special, my Salsa Via, the Breezer that we're reviewing right now. So if you're looking for at least half a frame bag that can work with many bikes, if you have many bikes in your stable, then actually a smaller size frame bag might be a good strategy. Back to the Backcountry, it's made of an X-Pack material. It's sewn, so this one is not waterproof, so if that's important for you, then you're probably going to want to look at their Expedition line. Its main value proposition is that it's fairly lightweight compared to the other model. The way it connects to your bike is pretty straightforward. There are two Velcro straps that go around your top tube, and in this model, they're non-adjustable. They're kind of sewn in and fixed. So this can be kind of problematic, especially with the front one. If you've got a bike with two bolts for a top tube bag, it might not play well all the time. So that's one thing to consider. Other than that, you attach it to your seat tube with this webbing strap and your down tube with this other webbing strap. This bag also has a hydration port. It's located on the top. In this version, there are two main ways to get into this bag. There is a zipper on the right-hand side that allows you to access the main compartment, and it's got a nice bright yellow contrasting interior so you can easily find stuff. In terms of volume, I've been able to fit a pump in here, a spare tube, and 2 burritos. And if I try really hard, I can also squeeze in a light windbreaker or something. On the opposite side, there's another full-length zipper with a slightly smaller compartment that's better suited to flat things like tools, wallets, wrappers, gels, food, and things of that nature. So I've put in a lot of miles in this bag, and so far I'm pretty pleased with how it's holding up. It does use zippers for some, that's kind of a deal breaker, but I found that they still open and close fairly well. As long as you keep them clean, this bag will last you a long time. I think a bag in this size is well suited to long event rides like we're gonna do with Dirty Kansas, long day rides, or super short bike packing trips. I think for extended tours, you might want to go a full frame bag option, but in terms of a daily rider or even for commuting, I can put my lock in here. It's a great size. One difference in shape that you'll notice between this and their Expedition model is that this has a flat bottom, whereas the Expedition has a little bit of a point. It gives you a little bit more volume, but what I found that I personally actually prefer this one better because of the flat bottom. I can generally use the water bottle on the down tube. So this is the Backcountry version. Let's look at the Expedition and see how it's different. One thing you'll notice right off the bat is that it's waterproof. Instead of being sewn, it uses some kind of electrosonic kind of welding stuff. The main point is that it's waterproof. So this bag attaches generally the same way as the Backcountry one with a couple differences. These Velcro straps aren't sewn on into the bag to preserve waterproofness, I assume. On this back portion, it is locked in place, but on the front version, it does give you 2 places to move this Velcro loop. So again, if you have a bike with the top tube bag mounting and for some reason this is interfering, there is some adjustability on this front. Another difference on this bag, I don't know if it's better or for worse, it's personal preference. There is a hole for hydration hose thing. But unlike the Backcountry one where the tube comes out the top, this one comes out of the front part. And just like the Backcountry bag, this has 2 zippered compartments. The main compartment, there's actually another zippered little pouch, so slightly more organization than the Backcountry version. I will say in the Expedition version, it seems to have more volume. Because of its boxier shape, it kind of preserves the storage capacity a lot more. And not to mention, it has this little dip here in the front. Again, just that tiny bit more volume. So if you're looking for a 3-liter bag that really kind of maximizes that space, and this is a better choice. But again, like I said, if you want to use your water bottle on the down tube, then you'd probably want to go with the Backcountry and not the Expedition. So I've been primarily using the Backcountry version, and Laura has been using the Expedition version. And I asked her what her biggest complaint was, and her main feedback was that the zippers were a little more difficult to open because there wasn't something anchoring the nose of the bag directly, and because of the higher tension of this waterproof zipper, it would just kind of cause the bag to buckle a little bit and wouldn't be as quick to get into. I think maybe over time this will wear in, but that's generally the only negative feedback. It's a great high volume bag for something as small as it is, and I think both of us enjoyed these bags a lot more than we thought we would. I mean, looking at a small frame bag like this, it's almost like, what's the point? But using it in practice on these training rides, it's a great place to put lots of nutrition, lots of layers, especially in these shoulder seasons. And I've also found, like, you know, it actually makes a great commuter bag. Like, I can put a folding lock inside. So to summarize, which bag is for you? I would say if waterproofness is not your top priority and you want to be able to use the water bottle on your down tube, then I would definitely recommend the Backcountry version of this bag. On the other hand, if you want to maximize volume, you want to get the most out of that frame space, and you want something waterproof, and if you don't mind losing access to the down tube water bottle, then go with the Expedition. I think both are great options. Really impressed with their build quality and how they've been holding up. I thought we'd run into problems with the zippers, you know, given that we're going on gravel rides and everything, but so far so good. So that's it for this review. If you guys have any specific questions about either of these bags, leave those in the comments below. And if you liked the review and if you found it helpful, hey, consider being a financial supporter of the YouTube channel. All the information is in the description below. And until next time, keep the supple side down.